Do you guys all do a lot of eating on Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Okay, one of my favorite parts about Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving pie. Raise your hand if you like Thanksgiving pie. My favorite, my absolute, hands down favorite Thanksgiving pie is pumpkin pie. But I've got to tell you something, and I'm wondering how many of you have a family member like this. My grandma always makes several different pies, and one pie is a pumpkin pie. Love that pumpkin pie. My uncle, though, also really loves that pumpkin pie, and he always eats a lot of my pumpkin pie. It really makes me mad, kind of. Because here's what he does. Sometimes he comes in and he gets really big pieces. And his big piece sometimes is half the pie, or maybe a third of the pie, or 2/3 of the pie, and it really makes me mad because there's only a little left. Sometimes he gets lots of small pieces. So he might come in and he might eat 3 small pieces. But those small pieces add up, right? So what I'm finding is he's actually eating sometimes on his second plate of pie before I'm even finished with my first. So a lot of times he's eating my entire favorite pie. And I go tell my grandma, Grandma, my uncle, he's eating it. He's eating my pie. Tell him to stop. Well, you know what's crazy about that? And I don't know if you've ever thought about it or not. But when you or your uncle are eating your pie, you're actually eating a part or a fraction of the pie. Right? And sometimes our uncles or those people in our family are eating small fractions or large fractions of the pie. Sometimes they're eating that one gigantic piece, and sometimes they're eating 3 or 4 really small pieces. But either way, they're eating a fraction of the pie, right? Yeah. Now, if this happens in your family like it does in my family, I want you to show me a thumbs up. Okay, so some of us have that problem. And I bet if you don't have that problem with a pie, you might have that problem with some other of your favorite dish. Would you guys agree with that? Yes. So today, we are going to look at a task about 4 families who are coming together to celebrate Thanksgiving Day. Do you guys ever have other people come to your Thanksgiving? Oh, I like that show of hands. Yeah, my family invites a lot of people in too. So these are 4 families that are going to celebrate Thanksgiving Day together, and you are going to be an outsider. Watching. What does that mean to be an outsider? What do you think it means to be an outsider? Jake?
A person who's not invited.
A person who's not invited. Kind of like a fly on a wall. And you are going to be watching these 4 families celebrate their Thanksgiving Day, but your job is to figure out which family eats the most pie and which family eats the least. I want you to pretend that my uncle ate 3/5 of my pie. So let's talk for just a minute. What do you call the top number, guys?
Numerator.
Numerator. I love those friends that have their pens down. What do we call the top number?
Numerator.
And the numerator is what?
How much they ate or
How many taken apart?
8.
How many they ate. So I'm just going to write up here my part. And my denominator, I just told you. What is the bottom number called?
Denominator.
And raise your hand if you can tell me, what is the denominator? George, what is the denominator?
The whole number, or how much it is enough.
It's the whole or maybe even all of my pie, right? So my uncle ate 3/5 of my pie. Right now, you are going to be thinking about your family member. So to start, I want you to take your note card and fold it in half, please. And I'm going to pretend like this is my note card. And my note card is currently divided in half. And I want you on 1/2 of your note card. What half?
1.
1/2 of your note card. I want you to write the fraction 3/5. Do that now, please.
In big.
Just small. Just small. Good question. And now I want you to draw me a diagram of 3/5 on that same half. One more time. Draw me a diagram of 3/5 on that same half. Remember, our friends today told us that we can use circles, we can use squares or rectangles.
When we went to Miss Sophie's now, she said there's no rule in 5.
There's no rule in 5, you're right. I'm going to give you just another second to show your diagram of 3/5. Yeah, show me 3/5. Okay, now you have a half of your note card left. And this is where you get to be the creator of your family Thanksgiving pie eating dinner, okay? You're going to have a pie. So right now, lean over and tell your shoulder partner, what is your favorite Thanksgiving pie?
I'm not gonna lie, but pumpkin pie.
Okay, cherry.
Hey, 4th grade? Hey, 4th grade?
Hey, Miss Harp.
Your pie is going to be split into 4 pieces. So now I want you to create a denominator of 4. Your pie has 4 pieces.
On the same side?
On your other half, we've already used a half, we're going to use that second half now. So you're creating a fraction using the denominator of 4. Now, everyone have that family member in your head that eats your favorite pie? Got that person? Right now, are you thinking ill thoughts about that person? Ooh, better be careful. Family's tricky. I want you to choose how many pieces do you think that family member is going to eat. Now, as you're doing this, I want you to be thinking, my numerator, should it be larger or smaller than my denominator? And I want you to write how many pieces of my 4 pieces your family member is going to eat. Create your fraction, please. Just make it. What is your dad?
If my family member actually ate it, he wouldn't eat 2 halves and 2 1/2 of it. So would I put 2 1/2?
So you're saying how many pieces of the 4 pieces would he eat? How many?
2 1/2.
So right. Why don't we just stick to just a whole part? Does that sound good? Because 2 1/2 can get tricky, and we'll work with that one later. That's good thinking, though. Right now, I want you to now draw a diagram of how much pie your family member is eating. Flip your card over, please, and put your name. Now, remember, what was my denominator supposed to be? What was my denominator? 3. What was it? The 5. Well, that's how much my uncle ate. Remember? We said that your family member was going to have 4 pieces. But it's okay. What fraction did you come up with? 2/3. Can you draw me the diagram of 2/3? Now, everyone should have flipped their index card over and put your name on it. Flip it back to your fractions. In order for you to get out the door and hopefully have a lot of your favorite Thanksgiving pie, I need you to tell me who ate more, my uncle or your family member. And in order to do this, I want you to compare this to a half. So I want you to think, what is half of my pie that my uncle ate? What is half of the pie that your family member ate? And tell me who ate more. You can do it on the back or even on the front, on the side that you wrote on, either way.